So guys, as we quickly approach the end of the year and 2025 is upon us, next year there's plenty of comic book movies, plenty of competition that's going to be coming out, and Comic Book Movie have done a ranking of their most anticipated comic book movies for the year of 2025. So let's jump in, let's check out this list, let's break down the details, and let's give our thoughts and opinions and see if we agree with that list as we go along. So, every 2025 Marvel Studio and DC Studio movie ranked from least to most anticipated. I know what my most anticipated is, obviously being Superman in the year of 2025. The start of the DCU, David Corenswet sweater Superman, could not be more excited. That's my most anticipated. So, let's go down, let's check out this list. So, next year we'll usher in the new DCU as the MCU starts laying the groundwork for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. It promises to be a thrilling year for the genre, but which of these movies are we most excited about? So, obviously starting off at number 5, the least anticipated on this list is going to be Blade, that comes out on November 7th. So, this movie has been in development limbo or development hell for years. It was supposed to come out so many different times. It keeps getting pushed back. It keeps being delayed. We keep hearing like rewrites and directors are leaving. And the fact that Mahershala Ali is still attached to this movie is unbelievable. So, we debated even including this here because of the odds of Blade being released on November 7th are slim at best. Like I was just saying, keeps being pushed back, keeps being delayed. For whatever reason, Marvel Studios has been unable to crack the Daywalker 5 years on from first announcing his movie. After 5 years, this movie has still not come out. You remember at Comic-Con when they announced this movie, they brought Mahershala Ali out on stage with Kevin Feige. They announced this movie was coming. That was 5 years ago, and this movie still hasn't been released. Absolutely crazy. There has to be a version of this Blade that's worth watching, but with Michael B. Jordan-led Ryan Coogler-directed Sinners on the way, this movie runs the risk of feeling redundant. Perhaps he's better saved for a future team-up project. With no director attached, we can't get too excited about this one, at least not yet. Yeah, it's really hard to get excited about a movie that consistently gets delayed, cancelled, pushed back, has no director. I mean, how do you get excited about something like that? Even though it's Blade, and people are excited for Blade, when you constantly, when they constantly cry wolf and tell us different things, it's hard to be excited about it. So that's number 5. Moving on to number 4, Captain America Brave New World comes out on February 14th. So, we've heard mixed things about Captain America Brave New World, and it's no secret the movie had to undergo extensive reshoots. I remember hearing about the test screenings, that it failed quite badly with the audiences. They didn't like what they were seeing. Marvel had to go back to the drawing board, kind of redo and reshoot a lot of this movie because fans weren't happy at those fan screenings. So this doesn't mean that it will be a disaster though. Marvel Studios has fixed many projects during post-production, and there's nothing to say this follow-up to Falcon and Winter Soldier won't be any different. We're hoping this movie will cement Sam Wilson as the MCU's new Captain America and set the stage for Red Hulk as a major threat in this movie and beyond. The character is too good to be wasted on a one-off appearance, particularly with Harrison Ford playing him. So the thing is, when it comes to Sam Wilson and Captain America, I've never seen him as Captain America. He just doesn't fit as Captain America, in my opinion. It's going to be hard to get Chris Evans out of my mind as Captain America. It's going to be hard for the audience, but I think it can be done if they have a great movie here on their hands, a great narrative, a great story arc. Then I think it can be done, but it's going to be a difficult uphill battle to kind of swap that appearance of Captain America in people's minds over to Sam Wilson, but I hope they can do it. So we think this could surprise everyone, particularly if the action and the story are strong enough, kind of like what I was just saying, guys. So moving on to number 3, Thunderbolts comes out on May the 2nd, just in time for my birthday. So, while it's true that Marvel Studios isn't exactly sticking to the comic books with its take on this team, there are still heaps of reasons to be excited about what's to come in Thunderbolts. A lot of people are really excited about Thunderbolts, and they think that this star in the name is going to change to the Dark Avengers by the end of the movie. Obviously, with Sentry appearing in this movie as well, that's going to be kind of interesting to see their take on Sentry. So for starters, there's a very good chance that the heroes left standing by the time the credits roll will be the MCU's New Avengers or Dark Avengers. Like I was just saying, that's the speculation and the theory that at the end, the Thunderbolts title will flash up at the end of the movie and it will change to the Dark Avengers, which I think will be really, really exciting. For the most part, each of these characters is compelling. John Walker in particular. Yeah, US Agent. He's called US Agent instead of Captain America now. US Agent is always a really fascinating character in the comics. So seeing more of them will not be a bad thing. Then there's Sentry. Like I was saying also, the character's live action debut is long overdue, and given what a powerhouse he is, the unhinged superhero could change the hierarchy of power in the MCU. Yeah, Sentry, he's a really awesome character, very complex, very complicated, and he's a very dark side to the character as well, which I hope they explore in this movie. Expect this one to be a surprise in 2025 because we think that the trailer only scratches the surface. Yeah, of all the Marvel projects, this is probably one that I'm most excited for, Thunderbolts. So that was number 3, guys. Moving on to number 2, this is my most anticipated movie of the year in 2025. I cannot wait to see what they do with this. I really hope James Gunn nails this. If this movie comes out and flops, then the new DCU is going to be in trouble. The amount of pressure that's on James Gunn's shoulders to get this movie right, it's going to be one of the core pillars of the new DC universe going forward. So, over the past few years, the DC brand has been damaged almost beyond repair thanks to movies like Black Adam, The Flash, Joker, Folie à Deux. Can Superman right the ship? That's the million-dollar question, though the Man of Steel does feel safe in James Gunn's hands. The filmmaker delivered a phenomenal trilogy with his Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Guardians of the Galaxy is absolutely incredible, so I have all the more faith in James Gunn because of what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. For many DC fans, the Suicide Squad was a step in the right direction. Obviously, Suicide Squad, that was a great movie. The Peacemaker series was great as well. We're getting a Peacemaker Season 2. Based on what we've seen in set photos, Gunn has done right by Superman and plans to tell an uplifting, ambitious story about the iconic character. The only concern we have is a bloated supporting cast full of C-list superheroes. Yeah, they've crammed a lot of kind of supporting superheroes in here. We have Green Lantern, we have Hawkgirl, we have Mr. Terrific, we have Maxwell Lord. All these different characters kind of crammed into the first Superman movie, and hopefully he doesn't get overshadowed by these characters. Hopefully he doesn't get lost in his own movie, and hopefully with all those characters they can still tell a compelling Superman movie. Still, we'd have to be said the same about Guardians Once Upon a Time, so we have faith in the filmmaker. James Gunn has absolutely earned our faith after what he's done with his recent superhero movies. But yeah, like I said, number 2, this is Superman. Number 2, this is my most anticipated movie of the year. And then we move on to number 1, The Fantastic Four. I have to say, I'm not really that excited about this movie. Fantastic Four has never been something I've been that excited for. Whenever I've gone into a comic book store and picked up new comic books that I'm looking for, Fantastic Four has always been at the bottom of my pile. I've just never really cared all that much about the team. But that's not to say this movie can't come out and surprise me and be a smash hit. I'm willing to, drop my preconceived notions at the door and kind of, go in and look at this movie with fresh perspective. So I'm hoping it is something good. Having watched the trailer, which premiered at Comic-Con, we believe Marvel Studios will finally deliver a movie unlike any other we've seen from them with the Fantastic Four First Steps. Whether it's a futuristic 1960s setting, the incredible cast, or the fact that Marvel's first family will battle Galactus, we have all the faith in the world that Matt Shakman, who did an amazing job on WandaVision, the best thing that Marvel and Disney have put out on Disney Plus in my opinion so far, will do these characters justice on the screen at last. Admittedly, we have some reservations about the team hailing from an alternative reality, and potentially not the same one as Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. But there's got to be a good reason for that. So yes, the 2 superhero movies being released in July, Fantastic Four First Steps, we see winning the month. Again, Fantastic Four, when it comes to their comic book sales, they did so badly in their comic book sales that their comic books were actually cancelled because nobody was buying them. And I have to say, I was one of those fans who never bought them. Like I said, I was never interested. Although I did enjoy the Silver Surfer Fantastic Four movie. The appearance of Silver Surfer, I think, was really fun. I really enjoyed that dynamic of Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer. That movie was quite fun, in my opinion. Although the movie overall wasn't that good, I still found the Silver Surfer in that movie quite fun. So let's go through. Let's summarize this list here, guys. And so number 5, Blade, November 7th. If it actually gets released, which it may never do. So number 5, Blade. Number 4, Captain America, Brave New World, February the 14th. Number 3, Thunderbolts on May the 2nd. Number 2, Superman, July 11th. My most anticipated movie of the year, next year. And then the Fantastic Four First Steps, July 25th. So guys, I invite you, having had a look at this list, would you agree with the order of this list? Or if you had to change it up, which movies would you put least to most anticipated if you had to change up this list here? I'd be really curious to see which order you guys would place this list of comic book movies for the year of 2025. Like I said, I would have Superman at the top, and then I would probably have Fantastic Four at the bottom as my least anticipated. But I throw it off to you guys. Put your list down in the comment section. I would love to see your list of the least to the most anticipated movie for the year of 2025 when we're talking about DC and Marvel films. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. I hope you guys have found this interesting. Thank you so much for being here and watching along with me. I always appreciate that. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in the next one.